I just went into the grocery store for the first time since having my baby. And it was really strange. It felt really weird, especially because I didn't have my baby with me. I went just by myself because she is at her grandma's for a few hours. So I went in there all by myself and it was the strangest feeling. Anyway, I thought I would vlog today because I have some time to actually film and I don't have to be worried about paying attention to my little baby girl. So here we are. We'll see what we can get done. I just dropped her off probably around 10:15ish and I'll pick her up around 2:30. It's currently 11 o'clock. I still have not had anything to eat. The puppy has not had anything to eat. I call her a puppy, but she's a doggy. She's almost 4 years old, but besides the point. I need to give her breakfast. I need to get myself breakfast. I need to get myself some coffee, but I think I'm gonna have some decaf. I also am going to have to pump, so of course all of my pump things are dirty, so I'm gonna have to wash that first so that it has time to sanitize and then it'll be ready by the time I have to pump. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can get done. Okay. I've got the dishwasher going, I've got my pump parts sanitizing and drying, and I've just finished making my breakfast slash, I guess you could call it brunch. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat that now because I'm starving, and I will talk to you guys when I'm done. We're done with breakfast. My pumps are still drying, so I'm gonna wait for those to be finished, and then as soon as they're done, I'm gonna pop them right on because I can feel the milk coming in. So I'll put that on once it's finished, and then I think for right now, I'm just gonna get started on throwing all the trash out because our bins are full, and I don't know if you can tell, but in the background we have so much cardboard that we need to get rid of. So that is step number 1. Bins and garbage are done. Sanitizer is still sanitizing, or actually it's not sanitizing anymore, drying. Dryer is still drying, and I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed, not gonna lie. So I think I'm just going to take a second to take a deep breath in. Deep breath out, and we're just gonna go by sections. So I'm gonna start back here with this counter and we'll go from there. Counter is clean and pump parts are still drying. So moving on to the next section, it's going to be our little sink area island. Actually it's not an island, but our sink area. Here is a before. I got a little bit of the sink area done, but my pump parts stopped. So while I start to build my pumps, I'll just share with you which ones I'm using and how I'm liking it. It's still a little bit wet. Okay, well first of all, I'm using the Dr. Brown sanitizer slash dryer, which I don't think you're supposed to take them out right away to give them a little bit more of a chance to dry, but it's not that much water, so I think that's fine. So I use these wearable pumps. They're by, let me just fix the light. I think this is better lighting. So the pumps that I use are these wearable ones by Mumilk. They are the Mumilk Ellas, and they're super easy to put together. So you just put this, I'll get a little bit closer so you can see. You just have this little piece that goes right into here, and then you have this little piece, it's a little duck valve thing that my camera's not focusing on, and then it just goes into this little hole down here at the inside of the pump. And then finally you've just got your flange here, and it just goes, this part just goes right into the middle there. So the Mumilk Ellas, I believe they come in 2 sizes, in 24 millimeters and I want to say 28 millimeters. I think I have the 24s and they seem to be working fine. At the beginning of my breastfeeding journey and pumping journey, I just had a lot of issues just with everything in general, and it took me really forever to try to find the correct flange size, also because I guess your nipple size changes from like right after you've given birth to a few weeks and beyond postpartum, but that is a whole other story because I was not using these at first. I was using a Spectra S1. That was really good and helpful too, but I found these, because I'm not pumping that much really anymore, I use these and they are doing the job. They are doing the job. So that is just on there, and then that's it. So there's one done. I'll go make the other one. Forgot to show you one more part, probably the most important part because they don't work without them, but it's just this. It's just the actual motor. So you just turn it on here, and then I don't know if you can see, but it has an automatic mode. Oh, I had it kind of backwards so you couldn't see. So it has 3 modes. It has an automatic one that I've never used before, so I don't know, it just kind of like switches between the 2 settings for you. But I have this first setting that just stimulates the nipple, so I usually will leave it on there for maybe like 2 minutes, and then I'll switch to the actual extraction setting, and then I'll just keep it on that one for the rest of the way through. And again, super easy. You see how it fits together. You just pop it on, and now it's ready to go. I have super sensitive nipples apparently, so I really only use the first level. Like, I don't actually know how many levels it has because again, I don't do literally anything higher than 2. So for the stimulation part, I do just level 1, and then for the extraction part, I do level 2, and that seems to work a-okay for me. I think a lot of people think that the higher the suction, the more milk will get extracted, but that is not the case, I learned. So I just stick to my suction levels 1 and suction levels 2 because that already kind of like feels not painful, but it just feels like not that comfortable. It just feels kind of like okay now because I'm used to it. But I think if I did anything higher than 2, it would probably hurt, and we want to keep these nice and happy so that I can feed my baby. So wearables are technically for you to be able to be walking around and doing things, but I don't know, I'm still kind of like scared that while I'm doing something, I'm just gonna move or like stretch my arm too much or like move too quickly or something, and it's just gonna move around and disrupt how it's taking the milk out. So I kind of just like to chill when I pop these on. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then another thing that I will just share with you quickly is I cannot, or I don't know, I probably can, but I don't like to use them without putting anything on them. So I like to use this Pure Mama nipple butter on my nipples, just a very small amount before I put them on, because I just find that the silicone kind of sticks to my skin a little bit weirdly, and then it kind of is not comfortable to take it off. But with this, it is so much more comfortable to take. When I'm taking it off, the silicone doesn't stick as much, so that's good. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will have this little protein bar, get some more protein in while I do that. I'm just gonna take a little chill pill for 20 minutes. I will talk to you guys after. I am really not the biggest fan of pumping, and every time I pump, I just am reminded of why. I hate the feeling. I would just really much rather not have to do it. But anyway, here we are. If I want to break from baby, I have to, so we gotta do what we gotta do. Here it is. We've finished pumping, and now we do the pour. So I definitely have over 120 mils, and I like to kind of portion my freezer milk bags out to 120 just because that is the average serve for a 3-month-old. So I think what I'm gonna do is I will just put 130 in this one just to kind of account for the loss when it's being transferred to containers. And then I will just start another one of these and wait till that one is filled up to 120, and then I will put it in a freezer bag. I actually have one from yesterday that I started, so I think I'll just continue pouring into this one. I'll actually leave this one here because it'll be about 130 once I pour it into the storage bag, and the rest I will just pour into here. The one that is not yet finished, I'm just gonna put this cap on and I will pop this back into the fridge. I don't know if I'm gonna have to pump when I get back from picking up the baby, because it just depends on when her grandmother gives her food. I don't know if she'll give her 1 bottle or 2 bottles, or I don't know if she'll have fed her like 30 minutes before I pick her up or whatever. So just in case we have to pump again, I'm going to pop these just in a Ziploc bag. But first, I'm going to just dab the milk off from here, and the nipple butter, I will just do that with a clean paper towel, and then I will put it in the bag. But we don't want the motor to go in the bag. That does not go in the freezer, only the case. So we're putting this in there. Take the motor off of this one, and we will just give this one a little scrubby like this. And this is just so I don't have to re-clean it and wait for it to sanitize again if I'm gonna use it like soon anyway. So we will just save it like that. And then whether or not I end up using them, then if I end up using them, I'll just wash them and sanitize them again after I've used them for the second time. And if I don't end up using them, well, that's great, and I will just wash them and sanitize them again anyway. So okay, this going in the fridge. Freshly pumped milk is good in the fridge for roughly around 3 days. So I had a little bit of leftover milk from last night, and then I put in the rest of the leftover milk from this morning, and that probably means that I do want to try to get that one filled up to 120-ish by today, or at least by tomorrow morning, so that that milk doesn't go to waste and I can just freeze it. So that's probably what I'll have to do. Dang it, that means more pumping, but that's okay. So these are the bags that I use to store my milk in. It's just the ones from Medela. Actually, before we open it up, because my sister-in-law just had a baby as well, so it's a very tiny baby, and I don't think they're leaving her with grandma at the moment. But just in case, I want to get into the habit of writing SB's name on the thing, so in case she ends up having milk from me and my sister-in-law, it doesn't get like mixed up or like lost in the sauce or whatever. So I'm just gonna do that first. So we are writing down the name, and we are writing down the date, and I think today is, let me double check. Today is the 9th, so we'll do 9 of Jan, and then I'm gonna say that'll roughly be around 130 mils. So I'll just write that on there as well. I should have showed you. I didn't show you. Sometimes I forget that I'm recording and I just do things not in a frame. Okay, now we want to make sure that we get all the air bubbles out. So what I like to do is go to where the line is and then kind of just pull it apart, and then kind of, I can't do it. Okay, so we pull it apart and then we fold it so that no more air bubbles come in, and then I will go ahead and Ziploc the bag. But I can't do it when I'm doing it up here, so I'm gonna have to do it down here. There we have it, very minimal air bubbles. We have a few here, but I'm not gonna worry about that. Goes into the freezer. And that is that. It is now 1:12, which means we have about an hour-ish before I have to go pick up the baby. I can't believe how quickly time has gone, and I still feel like I didn't really get too much done. But we're gonna finish cleaning this mess over here, and we'll go from there. Actually, I think I need to have some water because I haven't had any water all day, and we need to stay hydrated. Pouring some fresh cold water. I also forgot to mention that I have a friend coming over for dinner. I haven't seen her in quite some time, and I probably won't be filming when she's here because she is a little bit more on the private side. So yeah, you probably won't see me with her, but I do have a friend coming over, which is kind of even more why I really need to get some more of this cleaning stuff done, because I'm not I'm not a judger of people's homes that have babies or kids because I know how difficult it is to keep a tidy house, especially if you are a single parent by yourself with a kid or kids. So I totally get it, but I still like to do my best to try to keep it as neat and as clean as possible for when guests are coming over. I'm also just a little tiny bit annoyed because we probably should have put the dishwasher on last night, so that could have been done in the morning, and then all I would have had to do is put those dishes away and then repack it with everything that's in the sink. But it takes like 3 hours for a dishwasher to finish, so I don't think it's definitely not gonna finish before I leave, which means I'm gonna still have a bunch of dishes in the sink before I go get baby, which is a little bit annoying, but you know what, that's okay. It's okay. Again, we take a deep breath in and we let it all out. And that is how you stay calm. Not really, but we try. The kitchen is looking pretty amazing. Now, I'll spin you around so you can see the disaster of a mess that the eating area is. Next to deal with all of this, she is looking pretty spectacular, if I do say so myself. Probably the only part of the house that is super nice and clean and tidy, but I am already running a little bit late to go pick up my little baby, so I'm gonna head off. I did manage to do a quick little vacuum. I feel like I can hear an echo in here now because I've like removed so much stuff. It's a bit echoey. That's kind of funny. I did manage to do a quick little vacuum of the kitchen, the dining area, and a little bit of the living room, just kind of around the carpet over there. But yeah, like I said, I have to go pick up the baby. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I think I managed to do a pretty good job. Definitely pumping and having to make myself breakfast slowed me down a little bit, but we learn, and hopefully baby was well behaved with her grandma, because this was the first time that we left her there with her for, I think it would be like around 4.5 hours, and her husband, baby's grandpa, did say that we could start to make this a regular thing. So hopefully she behaved so that they don't back out on their little deal, because I really did find that having her away just for like literally 4 hours a week, I got a lot done. Even though, like I said, I was slowed down a little bit, but that's okay. I think I still managed to get a pretty good amount of things done. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna down my water, and then I still have to let Melissa out for a quick pee before I go, and then I would go pick up my little baby. I'm so excited. I miss her so much. So weird. You go from like spending so much time with this little human being, and then when she's away from you for like a few hours, it's just like, oh, I'm missing something. I'll talk to you guys when I get back. We are back home. It is hot as heck outside. I don't know if you can see, but I've got my pumps in. When I arrived, they were feeding her second bottle, which means that I now have to pump, and hopefully she won't be hungry till at least another hour, an hour and a half. But I think it went well. They offered to watch her again tomorrow around the same time, so since I did a bunch of cleaning today, I think tomorrow will be kind of like a me and Masa day. So I'm planning on maybe going out, getting a coffee and a pastry, and then taking Masa out for a really long walk because I think she needs it and we need some more bonding time together. At the moment, I am just trying to keep the baby busy while I pump so that she doesn't start to cry, because if she starts to cry, that means I have to stop pumping. And let me see, I've got another 10 minutes left to go, so hopefully she doesn't cry by then. Andy's parents told me that she kept waking up whenever they tried to put her down in the cot, so I think she really only got like 20 minutes of sleep. But that was expected. Me and Andy have told them again and again that she just is not gonna, the only way she'll sleep is if she's on top of you, if she's doing a contact nap. So they didn't do that, which means she is probably, I'm hoping she's gonna take another nap, because she did nap in the car, but that was maybe like 30 minutes. I think she got like a 35 minute nap, which is good, but I'm hoping that she will also take another nap before bedtime. I don't want her to be super overtired. That is really it. I don't have anything else to report for the moment. We're just trying to get through this pump session. I managed to do about 15 minutes of pumping before she started doing those noises. So I think she's gonna lose it soon. I still got a pretty good amount though, and 15 minutes I think is still like good for like a proper session to mimic her feeding. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm gonna go pick her up now because she's crying. Okay. She's asleep. I'm starving, so I'm just eating these lime and black pepper Red Rock potato chips. They're so good. My friend is actually coming around 5:30. She just messaged me, so that's still like 40-ish minutes away. Hopefully she sleeps the whole time because I need her to be nice and well rested. There was no way I was going to make it until 5:30 without eating anything else, so all right. Also need to have some more water, so I'll have that. And I have to charge my pump motors because one of them ran out, so we're gonna get these to charge and just chill out.